Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to Heatherroseup. I am Heather. Before I get started on this week's update, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can continue to follow along on my weight loss journey. If you'd like to see how I did this week, keep watching. Another busy weekend of working on our pop-up camper and being active that way. We ended up camping in our backyard in our pop-up. It's coming along, so we thought it would be fun to camp in the backyard, and it's not the same as going to a campground or a state park, but it was still fun. It was something different. The kids really enjoyed doing it. We had a fire in our backyard, a campfire. That was something fun that we did this weekend. Clarity time. And I got up late again. My husband is working from home today, and he joked and he said, "Oh sure, you're gonna go walk and leave me with the kids while they're waking up." He's like, "Go, have fun." So he is one of my biggest supporters. The only thing I do in this journey, which is pretty awesome. I mentioned my goals in last week's video. If you haven't seen that, it's up there. Check that out where you can see what my goals are for this week. For tracking, my baby step goal is to go no further than 10 weekly smart points. Another goal is to be intentional about my water and to take a sip from my water bottle every time I walk in the kitchen, and to get 4 blue dots this week, and I explained more about that in last week's video. So I'm currently at 10 weekly smart points left over on a Monday, and yesterday I started to get a little anxious about that and thinking to myself, I think this was a leap. I don't think this was a baby step, going from, you know, making the goal of -30, because I went from -50 to -40. And then I got -20, so I'm like, oh, let's push even further and do -10. I'm feeling a little anxious. But I'm trying to get through it. It's a goal that I made, and I'm trying not to get the negative mindset. And first and foremost, my goal is to track everything, which I am still doing. It is becoming a lot easier to track, but now I'm like, with only 10 weekly smart points on a Monday, and I can only go -10. So I have been drinking lots of water for me every day, and I got a blue dot yesterday and on Friday. So that's pretty big. We're halfway through that goal, so I can do this. As you're watching this, you'll see the evolution of my thought process this week. I have no idea at this point what's gonna happen. Just gotta keep pushing. I will check back in tomorrow to let you know how the rest of today goes. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I did not get up for my clarity time today, and I actually recorded something yesterday and I deleted it accidentally. I did get up for my clarity time. No, I did not get up for clarity time, but I did go for a very long walk with my kids yesterday, which was really nice. They had an assignment where we had to walk the neighborhood and count all of the hearts that we saw in the neighborhood, so we did that, and it was a long walk, and it was very nice, especially to include the kids. It was not clarity time, but it was enjoyable. Monday, I ended the day with 6 smart points, and I began to feel very anxious again about how things were going, because again, my goal was to go no further than -10 in my weeklies. definitely let some, and it's funny because I realize what the topic of the week is, and I haven't been to my workshop yet, is unhelpful thoughts. And I definitely started to get some unhelpful thoughts, and I'm being completely honest and have to be transparent about, you know, things. And I without going into detail, I'm struggling with saying this because, okay, I'm struggling emotionally for many, many reasons of what's going on, and I'm not trying to place blame on that because that just sounds wrong on many levels. But I'm noticing that my emotions are changing and I'm not addressing it, and I definitely started emotionally eating yesterday. Last night I ate some things that I did not track, and the things that I did track I ended up at -7, so I was fully aware of that. This morning I'm like, well, I'm probably past -10 now. And then I was like, well, today's a new day, let me start from here. Except I started off good and then I started to emotionally eat again. So now I'm focusing on just tracking. I know that if I continue to think about, well, I didn't achieve this goal, I will continue to spiral down, because that's how I personally, how things happen. And the past few weeks I have given myself grace, and I have, you know, understood that I need those baby steps. And I do feel like going from my goal being no further than -40 to -10 was a big jump. Realistically, I wasn't ready for that. And again, you know, I know that's not completely following the program, but this is what I need right now. So going forward, today is Wednesday, and yeah, there's some things that I didn't count today, but I'm starting right now, right here, my goal. And I also stopped, you know, drinking as much water when I walked in the kitchen. But from right here, right now, I'm just gonna track, and we'll see where we're at the end of Thursday, and go from there. So I'm trying to push away those unhealthy thoughts, but I don't know if that's the best thing, and I'm thinking maybe I should go to a workshop before Friday. So, but you know, even yesterday when I was emotionally eating, I still went for my walk, and I did count most of it. And when I say emotionally eating, I went nowhere near where I have gone in the past. Like, literally, it would have been an extra third of a cup of that low-fat ice cream. Why I didn't track it, I don't know. It would have been you know, a half of an extra serving, not like 3 extra servings. But I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm realizing that I need to, like, okay, you're stopping with your tracking. There's something going on. You know, accept it. No, acknowledge it, accept it, and move on. So that's what I'm working on today. And I'm just gonna keep tracking. I'll let you know tomorrow how the rest of today goes. So if you're struggling with these unhelpful thoughts, you know, it's okay to still need those baby steps. I do. Good morning and happy Thursday. I'm out for clarity time. I know I don't have to mention that every time I'm out, but I woke up this morning and I realized I really needed this time today. I'm up a little later. My husband is working from home, thankfully. My kids don't have, it's an easy week this week. There's no set schedule or even graded assignments, but they're doing STEM assignments. It's a fun week, so they're doing their activities later in the day. It doesn't take them all day, which is nice. It's a nice little break. So they're sleeping in a little bit while my husband gets ready to start his distance working. But yesterday, once I made the conscious decision to stop judging myself and to acknowledge and then accept what is and not what if. Sound familiar? Those are Oprah's words from her last workshop. Really quick, I'm gonna stop and share something that brings me joy on my walk. Aren't those beautiful? You can't see the colors, but oh my goodness, they are the most gorgeous roses I've ever seen. They're like tie-dye. And watch somebody correct me and say, those aren't roses. But they're absolutely beautiful. I hope my neighbor doesn't mind me taking pictures, but they are the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen. Awkward level 10. Anyway, I've acknowledged and accepted what is and not what if. We've got a lot of what ifs going on in the country right now. And I know I'm not alone when I say that just everything that's going on is weighing heavy, and I'm not trying, because again, I'm struggling with the words, because this is not, my heart hurts for those who are hurting, and I'm trying to do my best to educate myself to do more. So I will say that. And those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I have shared my feelings and shared links for myself to do better and for others so we can all do better together. But anyway, I uninstalled Facebook yesterday to filter what is coming in right now, because if I'm not being clear-minded, and if I'm just, yes, I want to see enough negative to push me to do the right thing, but not enough to where it consumes me and I'm not taking care of myself or my family. So, because that's not helpful for anybody. So yes, I realized that yesterday, and I acknowledged and accepted that I had to change my goal. And that's okay. But I've made so much progress when it comes to my mindset in the past couple weeks, and I'm pretty proud of myself for recognizing that pretty quickly on, within a day of a blip. And I don't expect myself to be perfect just because I have a better mindset. Those blips are going to happen. So I adjusted once I realized that's what I needed. So, alright, this is very long. I'm not sure how many points I have. I have 1 day left. I got 3 blue dots today. I would really like to see that goal be accomplished. And I do feel motivated enough to maybe push for that. So I can say that I got my 4 blue dot goal. I'm sorry for the light behind me and the shakiness. So I will check back in tomorrow. Good morning. And let you know how the rest of today goes.
Happy Friday. It is evening. It's almost 5 o'clock and I've had a very busy day. I did my workshop this morning and that went really well. I weighed in and it just, oh, and then I had a Zoom meeting for work. So it was a busy day and it was a good day. This week has felt like a bit of a fog, so I had to literally just go back and watch my clips throughout the week to kind of remind myself of what I was discussing and how things went. And the last time I did an update was yesterday. I know that most of the days seem to kind of blend together, and I know that they seem to do so more now this week for many of us. So this week was a learning experience for sure. And especially since I've been trying to work on my mindset. And like I mentioned yesterday, that I had that little blip where I got anxious because the goal that I made for myself was a little further out of reach, even though, and I say that even now with a little bit of disappointment, because I really would like to see big changes. Don't we all want to see big changes in life? But they don't happen like that. They don't happen overnight. Big changes often come from a lot of little changes. And I know, I know this, and I've said it many times, baby steps in the right direction are steps in the right direction. But it's still like, but I want to see results now. Don't we all? So it was a little disappointing when, you know, I wasn't able to achieve that goal, but I was able to stop that all or nothing mindset, reevaluate and say, okay, I can't do that goal right now, but maybe eventually. So I readjusted and I just continued to track, and I did that. I continued to track. I obviously don't know how far into the negatives I went because I wasn't tracking everything, but I'm happy to say that yesterday I earned a blue dot, and one of my goals from last week was to get 4 blue dots this week. And I did that, and that's pretty huge for me. So I'm really proud of myself for that. And especially, you know, once I took the pressure off myself, I said, well, I'm still really close to another goal that's more easily reachable. So I pushed for that, and I knew I could get a blue dot without having to worry about going too far into the negatives, and I did it. So again, I'm proud of myself for reevaluating, figuring out what it was that I needed, and succeeding in other ways. My water intake has also significantly increased this week. Not as much, you know, on some days, but it's definitely more than I have been doing. I was keeping track on some days how I had more than 32 ounces, and on some days I couldn't get, you know, 32 ounces in. So, but it was something, and that was my goal, was to try to get more water in. And it's this morning's workshop, week's workshop was ironically about unhelpful thoughts. And it always seems like every week when there's a topic in WW, it's like, oh, I can relate to that. Well, that's because that's how the plan is designed to help you. And it's always nice to see, oh, I really needed to hear that this week. And this week I really needed to hear about the whole unhelpful thoughts and how to rearrange that. But before I even went to my workshop this morning, which I said I was going to go to another one and I never did, and that's okay. But I did go to my usual workshop this morning, and I realized that I was using the technique that they were explaining in the workshop. So it's like I'm remembering and retaining what I'm learning, because this is something that we have learned in the past as well, and it's, you know, they do kind of do topics in cycles. So it felt good, like, oh, I knew exactly what I was supposed to do, and, you know, I did it, and I'm giving myself grace. And how did I do? How did I weigh in go? So I weighed in at 192.2, which means I lost 0.4, and I'm gonna take that and run with it, because I mean, yes, that's kind of like maintaining, but considering, you know, the blip and reevaluating and still not, you know, staying within my point range, I'm doing really well. And I have my focus on my mindset to thank for that. So I'm really happy. And especially since, you know, quarantine began, I had seen like 6 solid weeks of gain. And now this week I lost a little. Last week I stayed the same. The week prior I lost a little. So 3 weeks in a row of going in the right direction. My goals for next week are, again, obviously I learned my lesson that I still will require baby steps, and that's okay. I'm still going out for my walks 2 to 3 times a week, which has helped me tremendously with my mentality, and I call it my clarity time. And I'm still gonna not put any pressure on myself for that, but just for myself to get out and do that. That's not a solid goal. My solid goals, number 1, I don't want to go further than negative 15 weekly smart points for the week. But before that, part B of that goal is to continue with honest tracking. So giving myself a little leeway if I realize, okay, I'm really struggling, but I am going to try my hardest to not go further than negative 15. But if I start to feel, okay, I need to step on the brakes a little bit, then I'm going to do that and just make sure that I'm honest tracking and go from there. And my second goal is to get in at least 32 ounces of water every day this week. I'm going to be more intentional with my water because I have been making sure that I am getting enough water in, and it's hot, and I'm finding myself needing the water because I'm keeping up with my water supply. I would like to see myself do more with the blue dot things again, but I'm just going to focus on those two goals, and if I get those, if I get some blue dots, I will mention it obviously throughout the week and celebrate it, but I'm not going to pressure myself on that. So I'm stepping on the brakes a little bit when it comes to my goals, but I'm making some, goals that I know I can reach, but going easy to make sure that I am focusing on achieving those goals. Wanted to mention, I filled out the survey again for Oprah's Your Life in Focus Vision Tour, and I received an email saying that I was confirmed again as an audience member. By the time you're watching this video, it would have already happened. It was on Saturday, so if you haven't seen it, go to WW's Facebook page or their YouTube page where you can see the recorded version of her show. And I keep a lookout. I will be in the audience again. So I'm really excited about that. To be able to do that once was really awesome, and now I'm getting to do it again, and I'm a little bit more prepared. I'll have some signs ready for the audience. And again, I'm still moving closer to my 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Once I do reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway as well as a live chat with everyone where I can get to know all of you a little bit more, and I'm really looking forward to that. If you found this video helpful in any way, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and along with subscribing, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can continue to follow along on my weight loss journey. I hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be the change you want to see in the world. Bye, guys.